Hey guys, welcome back to Sarah Katie Reads. Today I'm talking about Jo Walton's Among Others, an absolutely lovely book that I just finished reading the other day. And this one we selected for my sci-fi and fantasy book club for our next meeting at the beginning of August. And it took me just a couple days to read it. It's a fairly quickly paced book in the form of a diary, so I felt like for me that made the pace even quicker because you're just reading diary entries. And this book, I don't want to do really any spoilers, but it follows a young girl, Maury, and none of this is spoilers. You know right off the bat that something awful has happened, and she has lost her twin sister in a battle, kind of good versus evil magic against their mother. And so all of this happens like off stage, before the book and her diary pick up. And so this is following along how she copes afterwards and her healing and her time after that at an English boarding school after she's left the Welsh countryside and the family that she knows there. And magic is interwoven throughout this book, but it's never it feels very real. It's really interesting. It's never the most prominent thing. Like, you talk about fairies and she talks about protection spells and kind of what she does to keep herself safe at school. But the focus is just on her daily life and her daily interactions and how she deals with kind of the fallout and the changes of what's happened before the book starts. And what I really, really loved about this book too is that it felt like this love letter to sci-fi literature and books, because she constantly talks about books and her books are her refuge. And so I think a lot of us can relate to that. And after I was finished reading this book, I looked up, lists of all the books mentioned in here, and I think it was a list of 117 different books. There was a list on Goodreads. The author herself, I think, linked to a list on Pinterest that somebody had put together. So it's fun to go through that list and see what I've read out of it. Now I feel like I have another list where I'm like, oh, I want to go through and pick up on those ones that I haven't read, because I really need to add another giant TBR list to my already lengthy lists and giant stacks and piles of books that I have that are waiting for me to get to them anyway. So, Among Others, and it won the Hugo and Nebula Awards when it came out. I don't know when it came out. This is the first Jo Walton I've read, even though I have quite a few of her books on my shelves waiting for me, and this really just makes me want to read her more. I loved her voice and her style. Not that I would expect the other books to be this way, because this is in diary form. So, but still, it was beautiful to read. It was fast to read, which was nice for me too. And I was sad when I was done. I wanted more. And I just kind of sat there and held the book and I looked at it, and then I had to go to bed, and I think I had dreams influenced by it as well. So I would really recommend this book, and I would give it probably, I couldn't do you can't do half stars on Goodreads, but 4.5 to 5 stars. I believe I gave it 5 stars on Goodreads. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I would definitely be reading it again, maybe this fall, because it takes place, during the beginning and moves on through a school year. So it's one of those that kind of feels good for the fall. But I absolutely loved it. So pick this one up and read it. Among Others by Jo Walton. So thanks so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.